What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to learn how to use Revit 2021 for structural modeling. So basically, we are going to learn Revit Structure 2021. So as you can see, I now have here my Revit 2021 already installed. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that we need to learn here is setting up our project. So to start setting up our project, so we need to link our architectural model. Okay, so to do that, the first thing that you need to do is you need to create a project. So you can select new here, and then you select here the template file that you will be using. Okay, so most of the company, they already have their template, so you just need to select that template, and then after that you just select OK. So in my case, I'm just going to use here structural template. Okay, since I'm going to do structural project. Okay, so just select the structural template and then select here OK. Alright, so as you can see here on my project browser, I have default plan views here, elevation view, and then 3D views. And I also have here the properties. Right? Okay, so what we are going to do is now let's learn how to link our architectural model. Alright? So to do that, you need to go to your Insert tab. So you click the Insert tab, and then you can see here the link panel, and then you can see there your link Revit. So it links another Revit model to the current model. Okay, so we will be selecting this. So you click that one, and then you go to the location of the architectural model that you want to link inside your project, and then select that, and then you choose here the position. So we have several position here. So we have center to center, origin to origin, shared coordinates, project base point, and then manual internal origin, base point, and center. Okay, so when you say auto origin to origin, where is that? This one, or internal origin to internal origin. So you select this option to place the origin of the incoming geometry at the origin of the Revit host model. Okay, so in a Revit model, the origin is also referred to as the internal origin. That's why, as you can see here, it says internal origin. Okay, so before in lower version of Revit, you can only see here auto origin to origin. Now they make it auto internal origin to internal origin. Actually, it's just the same. Okay, so in Revit model, the origin is also referred to as the internal origin. So when you first create a Revit project, the project base point corresponds to the internal origin. So just remember that. However, the project base point can be moved so that it no longer corresponds to the internal origin. So in a CAD file, the origin refers to 0, 0, 0 of the world coordinate system. Okay? So that's your auto origin to origin or auto internal origin to origin. Now, when you say auto center to center, so you select this option to place the center of the incoming geometry or our architectural model at the center of the host Revit model. Okay, so for both the incoming geometry and the host model, the geometric center is calculated by finding the center of a bounding box around the geometry. Okay, so that's your auto center to center. So how about the shared coordinates? This one by shared coordinates. So you select this option to place the incoming geometry in the host Revit model based on shared coordinates. So if the incoming geometry is a Revit link and it does not share a coordinate system with the host model, the link uses the default center to center positioning. Okay, so if you are linking a drawing file, you can use this positioning option, the shared by coordinates option, to establish shared coordinates with the Revit model. Okay, if the incoming geometry is a CAD file and it does not share a coordinate system with the host model, the incoming geometry is placed by aligning its origin with the shared coordinates of the host file. Okay, so basically when working with multiple links from different sources, coordinate a shared position with all members of the project team. So this strategy provides the most reliable results for positioning models and ensure that the link geometry is aligned with the host model. Okay, and then what else? So we also have here project base point to project base point. So you select this option to align the project base point of the link Revit model with the project base point of the host Revit model. So this positioning option only affects initial placement of the link model. So if the host model's project base point changes, the link model does not reflect the change. Okay, so to reposition the link model, so you just need to select it, right click, and then click reposition to project base point. Okay, so you use the project base point to project base point to coordinate Revit models from discipline or from different disciplines such as structural engineering, MEP engineering, and architecture, or to coordinate multiple buildings on a campus, for example. So you can position the project base point in each model on a common location, such as, let's say, grid intersection. So when you link the models, the geometry aligns. Okay, and then we have here several manual. Okay, so basically you can hover your pointer, you can move your pointer, and then you can click to place your link model. Okay, so you just need to move the cursor to adjust the position of the incoming geometry. Okay, but for this exercise, I will be using here internal origin to internal origin. So I just select that one, and then after that, I'm going to select this. So it will now open my architectural model. So there's my architectural model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to um, go to the properties. So this is called the properties. Okay, if you do not select any elements, the properties here, it will show the view properties. So like for example, if you want to know the scale of your view here, you just need to look at the properties. You can see here the scale. So it's 1:100. Okay, so aside from the properties, you can also see the scale here on the view control bar. Okay, so this is your view control bar. Okay, so just remember, if you do not select any elements, the properties here will show you the properties of the view. So just in case you accidentally close your properties, you want to show that again, you just need to right click, and then there's your properties. So you just need to click that one, and then it will now show again. Okay, and aside from that, you also have the project browser here. The project browser is like the table of contents of your project. So as you can see, this is where you double click the view that you want to open. So currently, as you can see, level 2 here is highlighted because that is the view that is currently open. So as you can see here on the title bar, it says level 2. So it says here level 2. So let's say you want to go to level 1 view. So you just need to double click level 1. Just double click that, and then you will now see your link model. So this is very important, the project browser and then the properties. Again, just in case you close your project browser like that, you just need to right click again, browser, and then project browser, right? So aside from the views, you can also see here your legend. You can also see here the schedule. You can see here all the sheets. You can see here all the families in your project, all the groups in your project, as well as the link in your project. In our case, the architectural link is here. So that's your link. So you can find it here on the project browser. Your project browser and then the properties, you can actually combine that like that if you want to save space. So you will be having here the properties tab and then the project browser tab. Okay, so if you want that to be separate, so you just need to drag, let's say the properties, you just need to drag that outside, and then you can dock that to the right side here, just like that. Oops. What? Okay. Come on. All right, there you go. Okay, now that we have already linked our architectural model, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that and then make sure that I'm going to select here the pin. So it locks a model element in place so that you will not accidentally move your link model. So that's a very big problem if unknowingly you accidentally move your link model. Okay, so if I click that one, you see I cannot drag it away because it's pinned. Okay, so if your element is pinned, you can also control it here from the status bar. So you have these selection tools here. Okay, so you have your selection tools. As you can see, there's an option here, select pinned elements. So it allows you to select pinned elements in view. So if this is turned off like this, I'm going to click. You see there's a small X there. So meaning it's turned off. So I will not be able to select this. Okay. So just in case you are wondering, why is it like that? The link model, I cannot select my link model that is pinned. It's because this one is turned off. Okay, any elements that you pin and then you turn off this, you will not be able to select that. You see, I can't select because this is a pinned element and then the pinned element selection here is turned off. So if I turned it on, I click that, so I will be able to select this. So aside from that, there's also an option here, select links. So it allows you to select links in their elements. So for example, if this is unpin, so I'm going to unpin that or just click that pin icon. Okay, so it's now unpinned. So basically I can now move this accidentally if I want, or if I want to change that one. So I'm going to undo. Okay, now if I do not want this to be pinned and yet I do not want this to be moved accidentally, then you can just turn off this. So I'm going to click that. So there's an X now. So you will notice I cannot select this element. Why? Because this one is turned off, the select links. So if I'm going to click that, so I can now select the link model. Okay, but practice, make sure you pin the link model that you're going to use. Okay, so make sure every time you link your object or a project inside your Revit project, so make sure you pin that. Okay, so now it's pinned. So while the element is still selected, so I'm going to select here edit type. Okay, so take note that if you select an object, the properties here will show you the property of the selected object. Remember a while ago I said that if you do not select any elements, the properties here will show you the properties of the view. Okay? The properties of the view, like the scale, like the name of the view, okay, the discipline, etc., etc. Now, if you are going to select any elements, like for example our link model, you will notice our properties here will change. So this now is what you call the instance property. So meaning to say, this is the property of the selected link model. Okay, so what I'm going to do is from the instance property, I'm going to select here edit type. So I click that one and then make sure the room bounding here is checked. Okay, so make sure that one is checked, the room bounding. So it enables the geometry to define the boundary of a room. The extents of a room are defined by the room bounding elements around the room. Okay, so make sure you check the room bounding so that later on you can create your room if you want. You can also create the space if you want, and the Revit will be able to place it properly. Okay, so just check the room bounding and notice that whenever I hover my pointer, there's a tooltip that appears, right? Like for example, I hover my pointer here, there is a tooltip, right? There's a tooltip that appears. If you do not want that tooltip to appear every time you hover your pointer, although it's really helpful, it tells you how or what is that particular tool, and it also shows you the shortcut. So if you do not want those tooltip appears, So you can turn it off by going to the File, Options, and then you can go to User Interface, and then Tooltip Assistance, okay? So you can select None, you can select Minimal, Normal, or High. Okay, so currently it's normal. So if I select here None, okay. So you see that when I hover my pointer, there's no tooltip that appears, right? Okay, so it's up to you how you control your tooltip. So you just go to User Interface, Tooltip, I'll just select here Normal. And for the double click options here, I'm going to select Customize because I do not want every time I accidentally double click a family, I always go to the Edit Family window. I do not want that to happen. That's why here on the family, instead of Edit Family, when I double click a family, I'm just going to select Do Nothing. Okay? I'll just select Do Nothing, and then I select here OK, so that just in case I accidentally double click a family, it will not go to the family editor. So that's the reason why I always select Do Nothing here for the family. Okay, it's my personal preference. Okay, select OK. And then you can also go to the graphics here. If you want to change the background, if you want to make it black, just select that, black, that one. And then selection here, this is the default color, blue, or somewhat blue. So you can select or you can change the selection. So usually what I do there is I select red. And then for the pre-selection, I make it color green. Okay, so there's a difference. So when I hover my pointer over the element, it turns to green. And then if I select an element, it turns to red. So there's this distinction if the element is pre-selected or selected. So I select here OK, and there you go. So as you can see, if I hover my pointer to the object, as you can see, there's a green color that appears right there. But if I click that, it will turns to red. There you go. See, it turns to red. So same with this. You see it's green, but if I click that, it turns to red. Right? So basically, that's how you link your architectural model. So let me just change back again the background to white. Okay. Okay, so that's our first topic, just linking our architectural model. Okay, so in our next video, we are going to learn how to create levels. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.